Alright. Exciting times. We're on everyone's favorite World at War map. And this is also my favorite, but here we are. Welcome guys. Welcome back to another video. It's Poochie, bringing you my finale video here on World at War on Riese. And like I just said, I am very excited. I don't know what I'm going to title today's video, but it's probably going to be something along the lines of like, Riese was perfect, or just glazing the ever-living hell out of this map. But before I get into my thoughts about the map, I just wanted to remind you guys that at any point in today's video, if you're enjoying it, please do be sure to subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. But Riese, my thoughts on it, let's go. So, I feel like Riese was just the culmination of Activision and, more importantly, Treyarch just putting all their ideas together, looking at the drawing board, seeing what did work and what didn't work from the previous 3 maps, and just creating a damn near masterpiece. Now, let's just go in order from Nacht to Shinonuma, and just some pros and cons of each map, and you can see like how they made the decisions and how they crafted this map. Okay, hear me out. So Nacht, right, first ever zombies map, kind of hard to criticize it, you know, it is the OG, but if we are being objective, right, very tiny, not a lot of room to work with, like, whatsoever. You know, you have your mystery box, you have a couple wall weapons, couple doors, and the ray gun. That's it. Verrückt. You guys know how much I love that map. I gave it its praises in the Verrückt video, for sure. But again, let's be objective. Very similar to Nacht. Tiny map, they did expand on the amount of room you have to work with. Excellent, right? Excellent. They introduced Perca-Colas for the first time. The mystery box moved for the first time, where I guess you can really say they introduced the teddy bear. Good innovation, right? Because I mentioned before, if the box were to stay in one spot the whole game, that would be overpowered, right? So you got more room to work with. Introduce the Perca-Colas, introduce the teddy bear, introduce power. So Verrückt, a lot of innovation from the previous map. For most people, you guys know me, I like the challenge of zombie maps, so it was perfect for me. A perfect step up from Nacht. But for most people, still not enough room to work with, right? So, I mean, there's the one criticism, there's the downside, right? So now that leads us to Shinonuma. It was my most recent video, so my thoughts are probably fresh for you guys, but let me just reiterate a little bit. So they saw the criticism from Verrückt, I would imagine, right? Still too small of a map, even though it expanded on what Nacht did. Still too small and not enough room to work with, right? So they made the map much bigger than Verrückt, and they also gave you a lot of room to work with. A lot more room to work with, actually. There's a couple of training spots where you just have too much room, quite honestly. So you have that. They introduced the flogger. I said in the previous video, one of the most iconic traps ever, right? So you have more room to work with, a lot of room. Introduce the flogger. Introduce the Wonderwolf, right? Introduce the 4 main characters. So again, like, it's the same story. A lot of innovation, but they still haven't nailed it just yet. So I'm really going to talk about Verrückt and Shinonuma. So Verrückt, more room than Nacht, but still too close and confined for most players, right? Shinonuma, I guess, I'm going to say my criticism, but maybe a lot of people feel the same way. Shinonuma was too open, too easy, but it also innovated a lot at the same time. And that leaves us here at Riese. And I feel like Treyarch took the best things from all 3 of the previous maps and just created a fucking masterpiece. So, Let me break it down for you. So, the criticisms of Verruct and Shinonuma being too small and too compact versus too much room to work with, you can see that in Riese. I would say it's slightly smaller than Shinonuma, but there's not nearly as much space to work with, you know what I mean? It's more on par with Verruct, where you kind of have just enough room to work with, but then some. That's how I felt about Verruct. You got just enough room, but that's just my opinion because I'm a hardcore player. I like the challenge. That's enough room for me. I understand that's not a lot of room for most players and a lot of casual players. So Riese like hit that sweet spot where it gives you a lot of room to work with, but at the same time, it's not too easy, right? Another thing where they kind of hit the sweet spot and they nailed it perfectly. Shinonuma introduced the Wonderwaffe, right? I would say that Wonder Weapon is universally loved. I don't think many people have a lot of bad things to say about the Wonderwaffe, so they brought that back. Now, I'm going to get to that later. I'm sure most of us know the issue with the Wonderwaffe on this map, but let me keep going. Let me keep going on this train of thought, okay? So, with the room, they addressed that. They gave you a lot of room to work with on this map, but it's not too easy. They didn't give you too much room, right? They brought back the Wonder Weapon that everyone loved. Okay? They brought back, I mean, I'm sure during Shinonuma they had, like, the plan set, you know what I mean, with the characters, but, you know, they did bring them back. This is, after all, the second ever maps that have them. So, who knows? Truthfully, they may or may not have had a plan for these people, you know what I mean? Probably did, but I'm not going to say for certain, okay? So we addressed the room, the amount of room you have to work with. We brought back the Wonder Weapon. We brought back all of the characters. We brought back the traps again, which this bridge trap, even though it's just an electricity trap, it's iconic. Like, come on. Who doesn't love this trap right here? It's set in such a good spot, right? And then, I would say, the biggest innovation of them all, which I haven't even gotten to yet, the Pack-a-Punch. Dude, I know it seems really simple now, or like it's not a big deal, because of how like advanced and far we've gotten with zombies, but the Pack-a-Punch just innovated so freaking much, because, I mean, as we all know, there's no Double Tap 2.0 in this game, so the guns can start to feel kind of weak at times, let's be honest, okay? We all love the PPSH, the Browning, MG42, but, like, just imagine if we had Double Tap 2.0, and I'll leave it at that, okay? The guns can get kind of weak, like mid-20s, by early 30s, there's not much you can use, let's be honest, come on now. I love World at War, but let's be objective here, okay? So the Pack-a-Punch really fixed that issue. I mean, just think about it. Running on World at War with no Pack-a-Punch on 3 out of the 4 maps, like, it got tough at times. Like, come on, let's be honest here. So, introducing the Pack-a-Punch was the biggest innovation that this map could have ever done. Because we got the Perca-Colas in Verruct, and the next thing they needed to do was bring a weapon upgrade, and they did that. And it's not like, oh, you turn on the power and you have instant access to the Pack-a-Punch. They gave you a little mini quest, you know what I mean? Not to mention, and I'll get to this later, they put in the side Easter egg where you're finding all of the teddy bears. Like, this is like the first signs of like any sort of Easter egg that we've ever gotten, you know what I mean? So it's like, with every single map in this game, and I'm going to start the Pack-a-Punch quest right now, but with every single map in this game, they innovated just enough. And Riese, I'm like, I was thinking about this analogy like a little bit before I started recording this video. It's like if, I'm a huge fan of SpongeBob. You guys know how Plankton, like, one of his main, I guess, storylines or whatever, I'm not even going to worry about the drop. But one of his, like, main, I guess, plot points, let's say that, he had to get the Krabby Patty formula by any means necessary, right? It's kind of like if Treyarch got their hands on the Krabby Patty formula, and if Plankton got his hands on the Krabby Patty formula, right? And how, had he would have actually got his hands on that, he would have figured out, okay, this is why these Krabby Patties sell so much, right? It's like Treyarch got, you guys see what I'm saying here? They figured out the secret formula to zombies, and they executed it on this map perfectly, bro. I mean, let's be honest. Other than, I guess I can talk about it right now, the Wonderwaff taking away your jug, that bug on this map, other than that, give me a valid criticism of this map, bro. Like, come on. And don't tell me it's too simple, because we're talking about 2008, okay? We're talking about 2008, when this map came out, and when World at War was released. Be objective. Other than that bug, tell me this map isn't damn near perfect. I'm being so serious. Drop a comment and let me know what you guys think, because I quite honestly have nothing bad to say about this map. I mentioned in my Verrucht video how that map is a top 10 map for me. I'm not going to put a number on it, but Riese is like, man, I'm just going to say it's close to my top 5. It could be in my top 5. I can't put a direct number for it. Look at that. Look at what we just got. I can't put a direct number on it, but damn, it's close to my top 5. I will say that for certain. And again, just be completely honest and objective with me. Give me a criticism you have about this map, because I can't really think of many. And keep it in context of when the map came out, because again, I feel like they took all of the feedback from their work leading up to this, and they executed on everything perfectly, man. And that's my thoughts on the map. I mean, they innovated on everything. They added Pack-a-Punch, which was, I would argue, what this map needed and what this game needed more than anything. Just some sort of damage upgrade, right? And then on top of that, I mentioned it earlier, they added a freaking quest to do it. It wasn't just a flip of a switch. This was the first little nugget, little crumb of an Easter egg. And then on top of that, I mentioned it already. They added the, what is it, the fly trap Easter egg with the teddy bears and all that. So, dude, this map, I'm having a hard time just putting it into words. But I'm sure a lot of you guys feel the same way as I do. This map is damn near perfect, and I'll just leave it at that. You guys let me know what you think about Riese, where you guys have it amongst your top 10 or amongst your top maps of all time, and where you guys would rank it in terms of all the maps in World at War. It's number 1 for me, and it's not really close. I mentioned in my Verrucht video how I love the challenge of Verrucht, but at the same time, as much as I love the challenge of Verrucht and I love a challenging zombies map, sometimes I want a well-rounded, well-crafted zombies map. And while I really do love Verrucht, and I'm not going to take back what I said, it's in my top 10 of all time, the reason why I can't put it any higher is because what if I don't want to have like the most challenging experience known to man, you know what I mean? What if I just want, how I said, a well-rounded zombies map with no flaws, damn near, while still having that sense of challenge? Like, Riese, like, it nails everything. I keep using the word perfectly, but let's be honest, like, there's so many things to love about this map, and I just feel like all of the, like, bulletin points, all the bullet points that you need to hit to make a damn near perfect zombies map, Riese nails it. So, again, let me know what you guys think about this map. I am so curious to know where you have it amongst your favorite maps of all time, and I think I'm just gonna get set up now. So I haven't even talked about... Well, I did. I mentioned it a little bit. The Pack-a-Punch quest and all that. Okay, let me get through this round first, because Word Out Word dogs can be a pain in the ass sometimes. I think I'm one hit away. Oh my god. Okay. Let me lock in here. Let me lock in. Alright, I'm good. Yeah, I haven't even talked about it much, but... the Pack-a-Punch quest on this map... Wait, 1 second? Okay, I got it. The Pack-a-Punch quest on this map, I feel like, with it being the first ever quest, like, ever in Zombies, I feel like... Oh, look at that, back-to-back max ammos. I feel like they nailed it with how simple it should have been, you know what I mean? Because with a lot of the quests that we have these days, like, dude, just think about, like Mob of the Dead, everything you have to do to get to Pack-a-Punch. What are other, like, really tedious ones? Zetsubo, Garad, like, all these maps where the Pack-a-Punch is kind of tedious to get to and you have to do a lot of things. Riese, for it being the first one, I feel like it should have been simplistic. And granted, like, if you, like, save a zombie and, like, you do all 3 teleporters instantly, the quote-unquote quest only takes, like, what, a minute and a half, maybe? But for being the first ever one, I feel like it had to be simplistic to ease people into it, you know what I mean? So I feel like it was another thing that they absolutely nailed. I'm gonna be honest. Now, in terms of this game, I really just need... do I want... What do I want? I think I'm gonna camp. I mean, how can you play Riese and not camp on the catwalk, bro? Another freaking iconic thing that they added. And I don't know if it was intentional that they wanted to add a camping spot, because since we were so still in the beginning of Zombies, I don't know if they're... I mean, there kind of were strategies already set in place. But, dude, is there a more iconic camping spot than the catwalk? Now, I don't think it's objectively the best camping spot ever, but, dude, 4 people, Riese catwalk, like, does it get any better than that? Like, having 4 friends, everyone with their Pack-a-Punch guns, trying to get as high of a round as you can. Like, I have so many memories sitting here with people, like, shoot, 10, 15 years ago. It was so fun, bro. Drop a comment down below if you guys also have the same memories that I do. I'm sure we all do, but just let me know. Let me know if you guys think this is the best camping spot of all time. Off the top of my head, here's a really underrated one that doesn't get talked about enough. This is the first one that just came to my mind. Zetsubo hallway right before you get to the boss fight. You go down the elevator, and it's that long hallway before you get into the boss arena. Tell me that's not objectively the best camping spot of all time. You guys let me know. Other ones that I like a lot. Shadows of Evil. What is the... Not the burlesque, because that's where the female character, that's her area. The Ruby Rabbit for the cop, Jackie. Sitting at the top balcony up there, that's one of my favorite spots. Shoot, what are some other ones? But you guys get the gist. Even though I don't think the catwalk is the best camping spot of all time, no argument, it's the most... easily the most iconic camping spot ever. I mean, I don't think anyone's gonna argue that. Now, what I need to do is save a freaking crawler. I'm over here glazing the hell out of this map, and I'm almost round 15, almost halfway through the game, and I'm not even set up yet. When I have the points to pretty much get what I want. So, I'm gonna get through this round. Oh my god, can you guys let go of me? See, Word Out War, they just hug you. Oh my god, I'm red. Alright, I'm good. Word Out War, they just hug you, and they literally don't let you move. But, yeah, I'm gonna get to the end of this round. I'm gonna leave a crawler, get set up, and I will see you guys in a minute or two. I'll be right back. Alright, so I got the Browning Pack-a-Punch. I have to show this off, right? like I talked about the Pack-a-Punch quest, but this is like the first ever Easter egg if we're being honest. I mean, come on, dude. Tell me how iconic this is, and like your first reaction, if you can remember that far back, of seeing that and hearing Samantha right now, dude. So freaking cool and iconic how, even though, again, really, really simple, but there's no arguing how iconic this Easter egg was. I mean, let's be honest. Hearing Samantha's voice and seeing all those power-ups, like, form like that and fly away, it was so, like, as simple as I could put it, just so interesting and, like, had everyone shook, like, okay, like, this was a survival game mode, right? And who knows the true intentions that Treyarch had with this and how far they really wanted to take it. But this was like the first signs of like, okay, there's actually something behind all of this, you know what I mean? I think the last one's up here. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I recently played the Giant, so I was getting some of them confused or mixed up. But yeah, I mean, this was... I mean, there was some backstory to Shunonuma, but Riese, again, is just the culmination of all those ideas that Treyarch set in place in the first 3 maps and executing on everything. Storyline included, because there were bits and pieces in Shunonuma, but they expanded on it. I don't want to say so much more, but you could tell there's... If you do some digging on this map, there's a lot more to it in terms of storyline compared to Shunonuma, and you have to give it its flowers and its credit for that, you know what I mean? Dude, I swear to God, no matter on like how set up I feel like I am, there's something about the World at War dogs that just makes them so, not difficult, but they're by far the hardest set of dogs that we've ever gotten in any of these games, let's be honest. But yeah, I got the Browning. I don't know if I want to keep the ray gun just because I'm camping. Ideal setup here is like Browning MG42 or PPSH MG42, but we'll see if I can get those guns. We'll see. And another thing that they added while I was hitting the box, obviously I cut it up. I didn't show you guys everything. Another thing that I got out of the box when you guys couldn't see was monkey bombs. I'm pretty sure first map they ever appeared on, because if I remember correctly, the trailer for this map came out. I think like the ending scenes of it was the monkey bomb. Like the last couple seconds, and a lot of us were like, what the hell is that? And I don't remember in the trailer if they like really showed us what it did. If I remember correctly, the trailer just ended with the monkey bomb like all by itself, playing its tune, right? And all of us was like, what the hell is this? So I mean, another innovation that Riese nailed, because how iconic is the monkey bomb? It's, especially in these older games, it's a part of your final setup, you know what I mean? It's included in every one of your high round strategies, camping strategies. Like, who doesn't love the monkey bombs? It's the first ever like piece of equipment that is like universally loved. I mean, dude, the other piece of equipment in this game that is not universally loved at all is the Molotovs. Like, who? I mean, it's nice for sense of variety, I guess, but honestly, who uses those things? So again, monkey bombs, another thing that they added. It's universally loved, and another thing that makes this map so memorable, so iconic, and another reason why it's one of everyone's favorite maps. And I'm thinking I might need to leave a crawler again here soon, because I'm around 17 and I'm still not set up. And what I'm noticing, correct me if I'm wrong, I feel like World at War Riese is the first map where there's more than 24 zombies, because they're still spawning in, I think. Get out of my way. Dude, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna kill myself with this ray gun. Watch. Am I good? Alright, I'm good. Please, MG42 PPSH, please, please. Dude, this is kind of what I was referring to. Yes, okay. I know I look crazy trading the ray gun, but we're camping. I mean, come on. Catwalk. I have to. But it's like little things like this is how I mentioned, like, they sprinkled little things here and there to expand on the story. You just have to do your digging. I think somewhere on that chalkboard, it's written and it says, like, Edward, I know it was you, or something like that. And I'm not going to pretend like I'm super into the zombies storyline, especially this early on into it. I just have my speculations that was Samantha. What the? Did you guys see that? Oh, I'm dead. Hold up. Hold up. Okay, I'm good. I'm good. I have to get rid of that dog. Okay, it's dead. Dude! Word at war. Word at war. If that's not a freaking demonstration of how buggy and glitchy this game can be sometimes, holy crap. Holy crap. That was... You got every bit of Word at War right there. I had a freaking flying zombie that damn near teleported in front of me. I'm gonna teleport. Flying zombie that damn near teleported in front of me. Then a zombie standing right here just swinging and blocking me for no reason. Jesus Christ, bro. But I guess that, like, little gameplay loop right there is kind of like a real life example. A live example of just how they, like, crafted this map so freaking perfectly. Because another thing that I was thinking about, like, right before I made this video, and I mentioned it, how they took all of their ideas from each of the previous maps, right? And they executed and, like, polished everything up perfectly. I kind of think of, like Riese is, like, almost a perfect example of how you nail map design. And that's nothing... That's, yeah, I don't think that's anything that I've discussed thus far, like, in these videos yet, is map design and how important that is and how integral that is to having a good zombies map. So, if you think about it, we'll go right down the list like how we did earlier with all the zombies maps. Knocked, you can't really break down the map design of Knocked. You have 3 doors, and that's it. Verrückt, we can start there and break that down. So, I'm not going to go off of the top of my head how many doors there are. We all know Verrückt is way more expansive than Knocked. And that map kind of just flows, like, in a circle, right? Obviously, you have your... This is a good analogy. You have your starting point right here. 2 people here, 2 people there, right? And you go in a circle, and you link up at power, right? And that opens up the whole map. Opens up where you're separated, and assuming that you open up all the doors in the map, then you can do a loop, right? So you have the circle map design. That's what we'll call it. Shinonuma, you have, like, a central hub, right? You have a central hub, and it branches off into 4 areas, right? But I still feel like there's no flow, really, because... You die, thank you. I still feel like there's no flow, because you have your central hub and your 4 branching areas, but those areas don't connect, they don't intertwine, so you kind of have to commit to a path and stay there up until the end of the round, because, let's be honest, if you're in any one of those huts in Shinonuma, trying to fight your way back, like, say I'm on round 20 right now, right? Trying to fight your way back to the central hub, and keep in mind you have the mud and the water slowing you down, with the glitchy Word at War zombies, it's not a fun experience, it's not a pleasant experience. So, another thing that I feel like Riese nailed was that not sense of map design, but the execution of map design. Because I would say that spawn is your central hub, and it branches off into 3 areas. An analogy that I like to tell people when it comes to Garad Proby, I feel like that map, it got inspiration for its map design and its layout and its flow from Riese. And let me break that down, let me explain. So, I just said how I feel like the spawn area on this map is the central hub. And I can explain it better once these zombies get the hell out of my way. Are we almost done? Yeah, we are. I might leave them. There's a couple behind me. But, yeah, the spawn is your central hub, right? And I've touched on it briefly, but teleporters, bro. Such an amazing innovation. Along with the Pack-a-Punch, I wouldn't say it's as integral and as, I guess, important as Pack-a-Punch, but here's your central hub, right? You have your branching off area that way, branching off area this way, but it connects right here. So your staircase over here, I haven't opened up the door. Your staircase right here connects you to the middle of the map, right? Over here, your staircase right here connects you to the middle of the map. But if you don't want to go to the middle and go off to the other branching off area by the catwalk, you can take the teleporters, but you're not trapped, right? So think about these areas right here, over here by this teleporter and over there by that teleporter. Think of them as Shinonuma and think of them as their respective huts, right? In Shinonuma, you're trapped. There is no teleporter at the end of the hut. Same applies for over there and same applies for right here. There's no teleporter. And that's why I feel like this map nailed map design. Because yes, you have your branching off areas and you go back to the central hub, right? But it also, you have this area and it connects you to the middle of the map, which takes you, oh my god, don't kill me, which takes you to this other area. And at the end of each area, you have your teleporter. Like, it's so perfect, bro. It's like, you never feel like you're ever trapped on this map because you have so many options at your disposal. And if you're ever in a pickle, just throw a freaking monkey, bro. It's like, there's something so simple yet perfect about old zombies. And I feel like it's just what modern zombies is just missing, bro. It's just so, the formula that World at War, that knocked, but World at War in general set in place, bro. It's so good. I miss these games so much. I miss the Riese so much. I just really wonder who's making, I mean, I do know it's Treyarch and all the little sub-studios, but I just wonder, like, dude, did you guys even play World at War Zombies? Did you guys even play classic zombies? Because it's just so much different now. Yes, bottom line, it's like, oh, it's a survival-based horde mode, right, with zombies. That's still there, but let's be honest, it's completely different, bro. Like, you kill zombies and the rounds flip, right? But it's the gameplay that's completely different. The foundation, the systems, like, it's all so different now. And you could just go down the list compared to modern zombies. Like, this game compared to BO6, just go down the list of just how different it is fundamentally and all the systems in place, and it's not for me. And we'll get there, hopefully, eventually. We'll see if I can continue doing this, but I just hope you guys can see where I'm coming from and why I feel like this map is so good. I feel like just the simplest way I can break it down for you guys, and that, I can't believe it took me that long to get to like map design and map layout and like the flow. I should have mentioned that at the beginning, but I feel like it just nailed all the ideas from the previous 3 maps, all the features, and nailed all of them perfectly. The sense of map flow, gameplay design, nailed all of that perfectly because I just broke it down. Shinonuma definitely had its flaws with you being trapped basically in each one of those huts, and there's no way to get out and there's no way to connect all of the huts. Riese addressed that and they knocked it out of the park with the teleporters, bro. Like, this is the first map we ever had teleporters, and just think about like how cool it was at the time. Yes, it's kind of like a feature that's like kind of like overdone now and a little bit oversaturated, But at the time, bro, like, we're talking about 2008, 2009. So freaking iconic. Let's be honest, man. Teleporters were such an insane innovation at the time. And I feel like had Shinonuma had them at the end of each hut, while it wouldn't have made sense, like, in terms of, like, the atmosphere of the map, which that's another thing I haven't talked about at all. But it wouldn't have made sense for, like, the atmosphere of the map, and it wouldn't have fit, like, stylistically, aesthetically. It would have just improved that map so much. Now, probably what they should have done, you know how they had the zip line at the end of that one hut? I'm not going to pretend like I know the name of that area, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Realistically, and obviously this is hindsight, this is like 15 plus years later, there probably should have been a zip line at the end of each hut, and not at the beginning of the one hut, like at the very end. Like, there should have been an exit to each hut where you have that zip line, and it can take you back to the central hub. Now, granted, that would feel very samey, if that makes sense, to Riese, like how each one of its branching pathways being right here, right? That teleporter and that teleporter. You have the teleporter to get you back to the beginning or central hub, right? It would have felt very samey, and even though that, I guess, objectively would have been a better idea, I'm kind of glad they didn't do that, because it would have took away from what Riese did. Like, it wouldn't have felt like such an innovation and such a perfect innovation, you know what I mean? So, again, hindsight, it again would have been objectively a better idea, and I feel like that would have executed, like, the vision of the map a lot better. But I'm glad they didn't do it, because it would have taken away from the greatness of Riese. And this map, dude, it's just, it's perfect. It's perfect. The atmosphere I haven't talked about. I mean, what are we, in a German test facility, right? This is where they experimented on zombies. And then you have the radios around the map, and I think the backstory of this map was Fluffy. I mean, this is like a subplot of the map, I guess. And how Hellhounds came to be, like, Fluffy was in the teleporter somehow along with Samantha, and they, like, I think if you listen around in the radios, they really break it down. But it's like all these little, it's like the freaking start of Zombies, bro. It's like all these subplots that they set in place here on this map, and they just expanded on it so much more with the later games. I mean, if you really want to, like, be serious, like, Riese is kind of like the first, like, serious Zombies map. And so what I said earlier with, like, the Krabby Patty formula, this is where Treyarch's like, okay, we have the formula for zombies, we know what we're doing now. That's just how I feel. I mean, because I said it earlier, with all the 3 maps, they all have their flaws. And I love Verrückt, but it has its flaws, let's be honest. This was the first Zombies map that you could take seriously, in my opinion, and there's not many flaws, not much that you can nitpick. And I would say, like, my first video, like, Noct was the beginning of Zombies or whatever, or perfect beginning to Zombies, right? This is really the beginning to Zombies, because those first 3 maps were really just Treyarch throwing ideas out there, see what worked and what didn't work. And this map was them executing on everything and all the features that they had set in place, fixing everything. So you guys let me know what you guys think about this map. We're already coming close to the end of this video already. I feel like I've been yapping so much, but it's because of how passionate I am about the mode, how passionate I am about this map. I just love it. I'm sure you guys can tell, and you let me know how you feel about it. Why was that zombie? Okay, I'm gonna throw a monkey. I'm in trouble here. Chill, chill. Why am I red? Why am I red? What? That's fine. That's fine. I got my opinions out there. Guys, thank you for watching these videos. We made it through World at War. I honestly don't even know how to end off this video. I love this game so much. I love the Riese so much. You guys let me know your thoughts and opinions on that map. That got really intense at the end. I'm like, not even low-key. I'm high-key sweating right now, but yeah, dude, we're at the end of World at War. Next video will be Black Ops 1. Thank you guys for the support on these videos. I mentioned in the knock video, I did not know how this would go and where it would go, and truthfully I still don't know, but the support you guys have shown this far it's been really nice. I'm a multiplayer guy, I've said that, and just transitioning to zombies and the game mode that I've truthfully always loved more, it feels more natural to me, but I've never done this before, and again, the support you guys have shown has made it so much better and easier. So thank you guys, thank you guys, thank you guys. It means a lot. I'm gonna end it off here. I will see you guys next week on BO1 Kino. Spoiler alert, that video will probably be titled the most famous zombies map of all time, but yeah, I will see you guys then. Drop a like on the video. If you guys did enjoy, please do subscribe, and I will see you all next week on BO1. And yeah, that's it. Peace out, guys.